Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Nathan and I'm back with Boss Channel today again. And a couple of videos ago, we started talking about tuition, free tuition all over the world, and countries that were offering free tuition opportunities to international students. And I just decided to take a small break here. Something really important I thought we should all talk about before we go further. Talking about even more countries offering free tuition opportunities, and that is how to manage your funds before even going. I mean, proper planning. It's really nice when you hear someone, oh, I'm going abroad, I got an opportunity, a job, school, whatever. But a lot of planning has to go into moving, because it might look easy, but by the time you get to another country, it's a different ballgame. Food, transportation, rent, and other living expenses will not be the same as they were in your country. So you have to do a lot of planning so that you don't find yourself in a terrible situation. And that's what we're here to talk about today: how to properly plan your finances before you move to another country. So let's go ahead, come with me into the video. So as I said before, moving to another country is a beautiful experience. It's an opportunity to explore different cultures, learn new things about different society. But a lot of planning has to go into your finances, and I'm just here to give you a few tips and tricks. Moving into another country, the first thing you should do is create a budget. Think up a list of all the things you need moving to another country. The things you need to continue living a life similar to the one you're living here. Might not be as comfortable, but all your necessities should be on that list, because those are the things you need. Things like your food, your transportation, your rent, and if there are other things you need, healthcare, all of those things they are prioritized on your list first. And these things are really important because, as we said, as we already know, rather, they are your basic needs, right? So you need to put these things top of your list. Always create a budget. Know how much it costs to live a standard life, should I say, just an average life. Know how much it costs to live an average life in the country you're going to go and visit. So number one on our number one tip or trick today is to create a budget. Number two would be to research living expenses. I already said this before. Your living expenses in the new country are going to vary rather greatly from your old living expenses in your current country. Say we are coming from a country like my country, Nigeria, where the average man doesn't need too much. I mean, you can eat a meal with 1,000 to 2,000 naira. So let's say if you're somebody that likes to eat 3 times a day, let's say 6,000 naira, and for a week, that's 7 days a week. 6 times 7, math is not my strong suit, but I'm guessing that's 42. So let's say 42,000 naira per week multiplied by another 4. And I might just leave you guys here to do the math, but let's say that's roughly 170,000 for feeding alone. Moving to somewhere like the United States, if I got the opportunity to move to somewhere like the United States, before I go, I'd have to research what it actually costs for me to eat a balanced meal per time, and if it's going to cost the same as what it costs in my country, and if I have the money to support myself to eat properly each time I need to eat. So is it going to cost me the same 2,000 naira there? Those are all the things you do in your research. So that's why your research is very important. So second on our list, research on living expenses in the country you're going to visit, or working or schooling, as the case may be. Number 3 on my list has to be opening a bank account. I can't stress this enough. It's really important to find a bank that provides the services you need. There are some banks that will not allow you to do international transfers to some countries. So it's really important to research the different banks in your area and pick the one whose services best align with your interests. So if you're somebody who plans to work and school at the same time and plan to even send money home to whatever country you come from, it's really important that you find a bank that is willing to do international transfers to your country, or doesn't have certain rules or laws banning some certain types of transactions that you might need to make. So that's number 3, right? Opening a bank account in this country, especially when you plan to stay in this country for an extended period of time, couple of years, maybe 2-3 years, for school, for work, whatever it may be. Really important. Open a bank account. Number 4 is to consider currency exchange rates. If you're coming from a third world country or a developing country, as we like to call them these days, well, if you're coming from a country whose currency is significantly lower than that of the country whose the currency of whose country you're going to, you get what I mean. If you're coming from a country whose currency is lower than the currency of the country that you're going to, you should really keep an eye on exchange rates. They can be really volatile sometimes, except when it's countries that have relatively stable currency exchange rates, like Japan and countries like that. But it's really good to keep an eye on exchange rates, and even considering using some of those corporations that pick that as their type of business, the currency exchange rates corporations. So you meet some bureaus in your country or in certain places, and there are people that are willing to provide you with those services that help you properly manage your finances, so you don't have a problem exchanging maybe when you get to the country or prior to getting to the country. They are there to provide those kind of services for you. So that's number 4. Consider the currency exchange rates. Also consider the corporations that can provide you with the services you need. Number 5 is my favorite tip for this video. It's my number 1 rule. I, as a person, abide by this rule every day of my life, and that is to plan for emergencies. You never ever know what might happen, right? You don't know the future. There might be something that comes up, health, feeding, something. Emergencies don't warn you a lot of the times. You just come knocking at your door and you have to do something about it. The 5th trick I have for you in this video is to always plan for emergencies. It is never wrong to have emergency funds, money kept aside in case there is a problem that the money you already planned with cannot solve. So if you have a problem that pops up, and say you have $1,000 and your problem is already taking 200 more, right? With your emergency fund, that maybe it's like half or maybe double your actual spending amount, you can take care of that, and it won't be too much of a problem for you. Nobody likes emergencies. For that one, nobody likes having to deal with them, but not having a clear contingency plan is just what breaks the camel's back. Yeah, it's the straw that breaks the camel's back. So please always have emergency funds. Really important. Never go anywhere. I said every day of my life I adhere to this. And what I meant by this is, if I'm going out, I'm not driving or something, even if I'm driving, but if I'm using a bus, public transport, whatever it may be, I always make sure I have double the amount of money I need to get to where I'm going and back. So if I'm going to point A and it costs me $1 to get there, I always make sure I have $2 to get there. And then to come back, let's say another $1, I have $2 for coming back. So altogether, I will be going out with around $4 and I'm spending just $2. Or what if I have to rush somewhere? Or what if the prices just increase on my way back? That kind of thing. I mean, we don't know. It's a country. It's governments change, things change, prices are not constant. So that's how things are, So that's my fifth and final trick for you today. Always have emergency funds. So let's go over it again from the top. First one was to create a budget. Always have a clean list where you have prioritized your basic needs before your wants, right? So create a budget to research cost of living in your country, in the country you're going to. So know what it costs for groceries, for transportation, rent, food, whatever it is. Know what it costs before you get there. Number 3 was to open a bank account, especially when you think you might be staying for some time. You should open a bank account. Research first to know what kind of bank in your area provides the services you need, and then you go ahead to create an account with them. Number 4 was to consider currency exchange rates. Always keep an eye on the market, know what's going up, what's coming down, so that nothing catches you off guard. And number 5 was to have emergency funds for accidents, for even luxury. I mean, there are sometimes you feel like eating ice cream and it's not your budget, right? But you just have to have ice cream. That's what emergency fund is for. So that's number 5. And I promise you, if you adhere to each and every one of these tips that we've brought for you, your transition into your new home, your new country is going to be seamless. It's going to be smooth. If you liked this video, if you liked the content we've brought to you within this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. It's really important. Also, give us a share. It's good to get this information across to as many people as we can. There are so many people that have found a way to get themselves to some other country, and they need this information so that they don't end up making mistakes that they wouldn't like later on in the future. So you have friends, you have loved ones, share this video to them, ask them to give us a thumbs up, subscribe if they like the video, and we will see you again in another video. Thank you so much for your time.